Hello everyone, my name is Leland Moya, student from Mizoram University studying MBA. As part of our assignment, we are told to choose any topic from the BSA syllabus, that is Business Statistics and Analytics, and make a video on that. So I choose the topic Measures of Central Tendency. Before moving on to the topic, first let's look into our contents. First one, introduction, definition, measures of central tendency, mean, median, mode, summary of when to use the mean, median, mode, and last but not the least, facts. Moving on to the introduction. The central tendency is the descriptive summary of a data set. Through the single value from the data set, it reflects the center of the data distribution. A measure of central tendency is a single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying the central position within that set of data. As such, measures of central tendency are sometimes called measures of central location. They are also called as summary statistics. The term central tendency dates from the late 1920s. Definition: the central tendency is stated as the statistical measure that represents the single value of the entire distribution or a data set. It aims to provide an accurate description of the entire data in the distribution. Here, it simply means that the measure of central tendency helps you achieve accurate position or description of any given data. Moving on to the main topic, measures of central tendency. The mean, often called the average, is most likely the measure of central tendency that you are most familiar with, but there are others such as the median and the mode. The mean, median, and mode are all valid measures of central tendency, but under different conditions. Some measures of central tendency become more appropriate to use than others. We will look at the mean, mode, and median and learn how to calculate them and under what conditions they are most appropriate to be used. Here, this diagram shows the three measures of central tendency. The central tendency of the data set can be found out using the three important measures, namely mean, median, and mode. Now, let's look into the mean. The mean or average is the most popular and well-known measure of central tendency. It can be used with both discrete and continuous data. Although its use is most often with continuous data, the mean is equal to the sum of all values in the data set divided by the number of values in the data set, or simply the sum of all measurements divided by the number of observations in the data set. Mean formula: mean equal to sum of all data points divided by number of data points, or mean equal to assumed mean plus sum of all deviations divided by number of data points. Even the mean have some disadvantages. When not to use the mean has one main disadvantage. It is particularly susceptible to influence of outliers. These are values that are unusual compared to the rest of the data set by being especially small or large in numerical value. For example, consider the wages of staff at a factory below. Here we have 10 staff with different salaries. The mean salary for these 10 staff is $30,700. However, inspecting the raw data suggests that this mean value might not be the best way to accurately reflect the typical salary of a worker, as most workers have salaries in the $12,000 to $18,000 range. The mean is being skewed by the two large salaries. Therefore, in this situation, we would like to have a better measure of central tendency. As we will find out later, taking the median would be a better measure of central tendency in this situation. Another time when we usually prefer the median over the mean or mode is when our data is skewed. If we consider the normal distribution, as this is the most frequently assessed in statistics, when the data is perfectly normal, the mean, median, and mode are identical. Moreover, they all represent the most typical value in the data set. However, as the data becomes skewed, the mean loses its ability to provide the best central location for the data because the skewed data is dragging it away from the typical value. However, the median best retains this position and is not as strongly influenced by the skewed values. Median. Median is the middle value of the dataset in which the dataset is arranged in the ascending order or in descending order. When the dataset contains an even number of values, then the median value of the dataset can be found by taking the mean of the middle two values. Consider the given data set with the odd number of observations arranged in descending order. The numbers are 23, 21, 18, 16, 15, 13, 12, 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, and 2. Here, 12 is the middle or median number that has 6 values above it and 6 values below it. Now, consider another example with an even number of observations that are arranged in descending order: 40, 38, 35, 33, 32, 30, 29, 27, 26, 24, 23, 22, 19, and 17. When you look at the given dataset, the two middle values obtained are 27 and 29. Now find out the mean value for these two numbers, that is 27 plus 29 divided by 2, that is 28. Therefore, the median for the given data distribution is 28. Mode. The mode represents the frequently occurring value in the dataset. Sometimes the dataset may contain multiple modes. In some cases, it does not contain any mode at all. Let's take one example. Consider the given dataset 5, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, and 5. Since the mode represents the most common value, hence the most frequently repeated value in the given dataset is 5. It is very important to know when to use the measures of central tendency. Summary of when to use the mean, median, and mode. The table shows the base measure of central tendency with respect to the different types of variables. Based on the properties of the data, the measures of central tendency are selected accordingly. If you have a symmetrical distribution of continuous data, all the three measures of central tendency hold good, but most of the times the analyst uses the mean because it involves all the values in the distribution or dataset. If you have skewed distribution, the best measure of finding the central tendency is the median. If you have the original data, then both the median and mode are the best choice of measuring the central tendency. If you have categorical data, the mode is the best choice to find the central tendency. Last but not the least, facts. Frequently asked questions. What is the best measure of central tendency? There can often be a best measure of central tendency with regards to the data you are analyzing, but there is no one best measure of central tendency. This is because whether you use the median, mean, or mode will depend on the type of data you have, such as nominal or continuous data, whether your data has outlier and or is skewed, and what you are trying to show from your data. Moving on to the second question, does all data have a median, mode, and mean? The answer is yes and no. All continuous data has a median, mode, and mean. However, strictly speaking, ordinal data has a median and mode only, and nominal data has only a mode. However, a consensus has not been reached among statisticians about whether the mean can be used with ordinal data, and you can often see a mean reported for Likert data in research. Third question. In a normally distributed dataset, which is greatest, mode, median, or mean? Answer. If the dataset is perfectly normal, the mean, median, and mode are equal to each other. Moving on to the fourth question. For any dataset, which measures of central tendency have only one value? And the answer is the median and mean can only have one value for a given dataset. The mode can have more than one value. Next question. What is the difference between mean and median? The answer is mean is the average of the value of a data set, whereas median is the middlemost value of the data. Last question. What is the purpose of central tendency? Answer. The purpose of central tendency is to provide an exact representation of the entire collected data. It is often defined as a single value that is representative of the data. Thank you.